All right, what's up, guys? Good morning. Hope everyone's doing good this morning. Just give me 1 minute, man. I'm messing around with a lot of stuff. I'm still learning this thing. It's not as easy to edit it as the other one, but I'm learning. Like, yeah, I'm learning. I'm gonna have it hooked up real soon, man. Like, it's gonna all look really good. I'm trying to make it look as professional as possible. Obviously, I don't know this background. I'm just testing shit. That's all right now. We're waiting on Cali Wagers is coming in. He's going to be doing the show with me today. He just said he's grabbing some coffee and he'll be in. We're going to talk about college basketball and the NBA today. All right. I can imagine that back is probably driving you all crazy. Join the app, monthly VIP. Today's prop of the day. I still don't have Cali Wagers QR code on here. I got to make it. I got to make Cali Wagers QR code. All right. So yesterday, let's do a recap real quick and then we'll get started. Um, Yesterday wasn't terrible, wasn't great. I lost my big play I gave out. I had, I think it was Memphis and San Fran plus the points. San Fran did not cover, which killed me. I really thought San Fran was going to win that game outright. And the crazy thing is, I said that Memphis could have been my dog of the day. I should have made Memphis my dog of the day, man. But that don't help us now, right? It's in the past. The past is in the past. We move forward and keep pushing. Um, if you guys didn't watch that Memphis game, you missed out. That game was awesome, man. Um, they battled it out, UConn and Memphis. It was such a good game. It went to overtime. Um, Yeah, it was just a really, really good game. There was a lot of good games yesterday, and to keep it real, there's a lot of good games today. Like, if you guys are not watching college basketball, I don't know how you cannot like this sport. Like, seriously, I enjoy college basketball more than anything else on, man. It's just fun. It's fun to bet. It's fun to research. Like, I love everything about college basketball. But yeah, so yesterday I gave out San Fran as my dog of the day, which I'm doing a video now every day, guys. You can find it on the YouTube channel. Um, it's a dog of the day video. San Fran was my dog of the day yesterday, did not cash. I also gave out a free play on the Nuggets. But my prop of the day cashed, which I also gave out for free, which was Scotty Barnes. I mean, he absolutely snapped yesterday. And on top of it, we had him for a double double at plus 280. So we had Scotty Barnes double double. We had I actually had it parlayed with Palmer touchdown as well for like plus 1400. So obviously Palmer did not get in the end zone. Obviously, you guys know it broke my heart because there was less than a minute left on the clock and Palmer got targeted twice in the end zone and he dropped both passes. It was heartbreaking, absolutely heartbreaking. San Fran again, Clemson just ran on their ass. That was heartbreaking. So it was a frustrating day yesterday, but we had some really, really good wins yesterday. Like I said, Memphis outright we gave out on here. We gave out some really good looks yesterday, man. So hopefully you guys are listening and taking notes, and I'm making you guys some money. Um, so like I said, we're waiting for Cali Wagers to make his appearance. I'm just going to go ahead and get started. When he joins, he can tap in if he wants on the games that we already talked about. I had a problem with the show this morning, so I had to test it to go live, and I had to make a new one. So if you guys can you guys please just share this one, put it on your timeline or in your betting groups, because if not, it's going to be I know it don't matter to y'all, but it's probably going to be an extremely small show because I didn't have enough time to push the link. But it should be live on my timeline now. Hopefully, Callie will figure out how to put it on his timeline as well. But it is what it is. The people here will get the picks. That's all. All right. Let's get started, man. What'd you guys think about that? What'd you guys think about that football game? I didn't think it was terrible. I did like the Rams. I did. I like the Rams. Um, we had Palmer's receiving yards as well. So we had Palmer's receiving yards. I had Palmer for an anytime touchdown. Um, that guy the bot gave us did not cash. Uh, so that was pretty funny. What was his name? Vladar. So that was pretty funny, man. But yeah, it was a good day. It was a good day of watching sports. I'll say that. Um, I've had a lot better betting days than I've had in the last 3 days. Let's just say that, guys. Um, you know, when it comes to betting for me, the last 3 days have been not so great. Yesterday was my first okay day out of the last three. So hopefully that follows up with today. Me, I'm seeing the board well. Like on the show, I'm giving out some really good picks. I'm not picking the right ones to actually go ahead and pull the trigger on. That's my problem right now. So it's all right. I know. So first of all, good morning, Marcus. And yeah, dude, he didn't score. He didn't score. Believe me, I was watching, but yeah, that's funny, man. All right, if you guys can just share the space. I'm not gonna hold you guys up anymore, man. Let's get started. Um, what I did take away from yesterday, what did I take away from yesterday, man? I don't know. Maybe I stopped underestimating Clemson a little bit. They look really good. Uh, I mean, there's the Memphis. I knew about Memphis. Like, I don't know. I'm gonna start doing recaps every day. Like, I already take notes. I write them down on my phone in my notes in my phone for college hoops. Like, stuff I take away from the day. But I'm gonna start posting it again in the Discord. I'll start posting my notes in the Discord, like the real ones that are actually notable for y'all. You know what I mean? Not my little, Grand Canyon notes or nothing like that. But all right, man, let's get started. All right, first game we got on the board. We're starting with college basketball, and then we're going to be moving into NBA. All right, so we got one game already started, which I had nothing on anyway. It was Chicago State and Drexel. I'm not laying that many points with Drexel, but Drexel should beat the shit out of Chicago State. I'm just saying. But don't hold me to that. I don't have really nothing on that game, y'all. Then I do got Duquesne for y'all though. So we got Duquesne We got Duquesne taking on my bad. All right, we got Duquesne taking on Old Dominion. Not the sexiest game, but it's a part of the early slate. And, I kind of want to give you guys something in the early slate. So this is the game I picked. Old Dominion sucks. Duquesne, I don't think Duquesne has won one game yet. Believe it or not, I don't think. Nope, 0-6. Duquesne's 0-6. Old Dominion's 2-5. But I mean, this is just what we got on the 11 o'clock slate. So looking at Duquesne, they're laying 10 points. Yes, 0-6 Duquesne is laying 10 points. And then you got Old Dominion getting 10 points. You got a total of 138.5. It's slightly favored to the under at a minus 112 here. Like I said, guys, it is not the sexiest game on the board. So just walk into this game with caution. I don't think you can confidently lay 10 points with Duquesne. And it just goes to show, when I did this line about 2 hours ago, maybe 3 hours ago, and the line is now at a minus 110. When I wrote this game up for the things, it was at a minus 7.5. It's now at a minus 10 for Duquesne. So someone dropped a brick on Duquesne recently. Um, I don't think that we could honestly confidently lay this number. Both teams are struggling to score right now. I have not seen good offense from either one of them. Um, both of them have been okay defensive. I don't think either side is good enough here to really be comfortable to lay or take points with. So I'm going to give you guys the under. I think the under is the best bet. I'm sitting here looking at both these guys' offenses here on Ken Palm. They're not good at all. You look at their defenses. Their defenses are kind of what stands out to me in this one. So I haven't been following either one of these programs. So Duquesne is averaging only 65 points per game. Okay. You got Old Dominion, who is only averaging 66 points per game. I mean, I just can't do it, man. There is no offense to be found here on either side. So the under looks like a pretty comfortable bet to me in this one to start our day. All right. Let's keep it moving, man. The next game that I got on this list for y'all is Siena and Jacksonville. This is actually the other 11 o'clock game. So I guess I did put both of them down for y'all. So we got Jacksonville laying 2.5. We got Siena, or not laying 2.5. We got Jacksonville laying 7.5 here, I think, right? Let me see. 6.5 now. Jacksonville laying 6.5. You got Siena getting 6.5. We got a total of 129.5. This is even lower than the other total. So they're expecting both these games to just be disgustingly bad. Um, again, not the sexiest game. 2-2 Jacksonville, Siena 3-3 on the year. The line opened up at 7.5. Like I said, it's now down to a 6.5. We have seen a lot out of Jacksonville this year. At least I have. So I'm kind of comfortable talking on Jacksonville. I like Jacksonville. I don't think they're terrible. I do think this is a big number, but I do think that they cover here. They're just better. They're just a better team. They've had a much tougher schedule. You look at it. You look at these team stats side by side, and Jacksonville is just better on every aspect: rebounding, shooting percentage, defense. I mean everything, man. Adjusted defense, adjusted offense, 2-point shooting, 3-point shooting. I just don't think that Siena is that much improved from what we have always known Siena to be. Um, I mean, last year this team won 4 games. Like, I just don't think that this Sienna team has done anything to better their program. So what is making me think that, yeah, I think this is a reasonable number with Jacksonville. Jacksonville has been tested, man. Sienna just has no offense. At least Jacksonville is averaging 74 points a game. Um, I have to rock with Jacksonville here. This actually might be an easy bet to lay here. The more I'm looking into this, um the more I'm liking from Jacksonville here. Um yeah, man. I mean, they took Mercer to OT. They dropped 89 points in that game. So we're just going to fade Sienna here. Give me Jacksonville, man. All right. Next game I got on the list, EKU playing Southern Illinois. All right. So we got Eastern Kentucky here. That now we're in the 12 o'clock slate now. We got Eastern Kentucky getting 4 points. We got Southern Illinois laying 4 points here. We got a total of 148.5 locked up on both sides in this one. Uh, we know we know Eastern Kentucky is a team that always fights. This is a good underdog team. I respect Eastern Kentucky's game. I always have. They were a great team last year. Their adjusted defense, their adjusted offense is much improved this year. And like I said, I always do like backing this team as an underdog. The problem is, I'm I'm just Southern Illinois has been different, man. You know, both these guys are 3-6 against the spread in their last nine. Looks like 3-6 in their last nine. Southern Illinois, man, they should honestly have the edge here just because of their defense. Not only that, they have played a kind of a tough schedule, man. I told you guys about the Salukis before. We have talked about this team in Plug Talk already this year. And I just like what they've done. They are the more improved team. Um, I just think they have the better defense. Um, we're not laying a crazy number here. Now, normally, like I said, I would back Eastern Kentucky in a spot like this, but they're just playing the wrong team. I think the Salukis match up pretty well here. And they don't really have anyone crazy on deck. Like I said, we did see him lose to Florida. They played LA Tech. They lost to LA Tech as well. Um, I mean, they've had a pretty tough go. So I'm gonna yeah, I'm gonna rock with the Salukis here, man. Again, I'm not saying this is like one of my favorite bets or nothing because this early slate is ridiculously bad. It gets better once we go deeper into the slate. Eastern Kentucky does have the better offense, but I think they kind of put a break on when they play this defense. I don't think Eastern Kentucky has seen a. I'm not saying that the Salukis defense is crazy good, but I do think that this is definitely a step up when it comes to defensive. That Eastern Kentucky has seen. And I think that if they are running into, shooting issues here, they're going to panic a little bit. So because they're used to just being able to score. Like I mean, they played teams like La Tech. They played teams like Chicago State. Like these are the teams that Eastern Kentucky has played this year, and that's my whole point. So we are going to be backing the Salukis here, man. Give me Southern Illinois. I'll lay the 5 points here. I don't know where Callie is. He said he was joining. Give me 1 second, guys. All right. So, next game I got for us, we got Fordham, and man, I didn't want to talk about these guys, man, because I already told you they broke my heart yesterday. We got Fordham playing San Fran. San Fran, the big Dons laying 11 points here, where you got Fordham getting 11 points. We got a total of 141 and a half, locked up on both sides at a minus 110. Why couldn't San Fran just win that game, man? Why? Like, I'm telling y'all, man, there's like an evil surrounded around me right now when it comes to my betting. I mean, I felt really good the first 8 minutes of that game. Okay, they looked amazing. I was like, they're keeping it slow, which I wanted. The game was super slow to start. San Fran was controlling pace of play. They were making their shots. It was extremely low scoring. I loved everything about the first 8 minutes of that game. To be fair, I was comfortable going into halftime. I really was. I liked what I seen from them, like up until halftime. After halftime, oh my god, bro, they fell apart. Like, bro, it came to a point where Clemson went on a 22-2 run on San Fran yesterday. Um, I don't know. We ain't gonna spend too much time on the past, but it broke my heart, man. I was like, fuck, because I swore I had a good one with them. All right, so we got they're laying 11 points today against Fordham. San Fran is the better team. I don't necessarily want to throw them under the bus and forget about them because I do think this is a talented team. I do think they have like a really good chance at making noise this year. San Fran they got to step up that defense, and that's what I think they do today. Obviously that was a huge issue yesterday in the second half. There was no defense being played at all, and then they stopped facilitating. They stopped moving the ball, and it just got uglier and uglier. San Francisco is only giving up 62 points per game, and we did not see that last night. They keep the pace very slow. That's what they did in the beginning against Clemson. That's what they're going to do here. Um, Now, do they keep it the full game? I think so. This Fordham team is not as aggressive as Clemson is with shooting threes, or even being as aggressive as Clemson was in the paint. And San Fran had a huge mismatch underneath. Like, I mean, they had a dude 7 foot almost against someone who looked like he was 5 foot. And I just don't get it, man. So Fordham, I think Fordham is not going to be able to play that slow pace that San Fran does, and I think San Fran is going to bully the pace of play today. I don't think San Fran shoots as bad as they did yesterday. It's just this is a big number. And I'm a little nervous about laying it just because of what I've seen. San Fran normally averages anywhere between 70 to 75 points a game. And Fordham is averaging about 70, and Fordham's defense is questionable. It really is. But the way San Fran is going to play in this game, I really do believe that it's going to be a slow, low scoring type of game. The kind of game that San Fran wanted to get out of Clemson last night is probably what they're going to get out of Fordham today. So I'm comfortable taking this under. I know it's not, I know it's not a whole lot of points, but I do think we see an under. I think San Fran holds Fordham to probably somewhere around like 55 points today. And if they do that, this total is not going over. So I'll take my chances, man. Give me the under 141 and a half, and I lean San Francisco laying the points here. All right. We got San Diego State taking on Creighton. And big boy Creighton's uh Creighton laying 4.5 here. Creighton's laying 4.5. We got a total of 138.5 locked up on both sides. You can catch Creighton at a minus 192. San Diego State is at a plus 160. Not terrible. I gotta say, I'm a little tempted on looking at these points here with San Diego State. Creighton is normally a team that I pay pretty close attention to. But to be fair, this year, Creighton was not really on my radar. It's not a team that I'm really comfortable with right now. There's a lot of questions I have on Creighton, right? Until I get them questions answered, I'm not going to be backing them. And this does honestly feel like the books are kind of begging us to bet Creighton here, right? Like this just seems like this don't seem like a Creighton kind of number. I mean, Creighton still is 4-1 right this year, where San Diego's what 3-1 two or 2-1. I don't know what they are. Let me see. Yeah, 2-1 it says, but I thought they played more games than that. That don't make sense. Let me see. Let me pull up their roster. I know they lost to Gonzaga. That was their last game. Who else did they play? It was just subdivision teams, right? So they really, yeah, they played all sub. So they really didn't play that many games. Okay. Um, they do got Oregon up next. So they do got Oregon up next. Okay, so I am going to take the points here. First of all, this line makes zero sense to me. Creighton should probably be favored by a lot more here. Um, and like I said, this is just not a Creighton line. Both these teams are coming off of their first losses, it looks like, in their last games. San Diego hasn't played a game in goddamn 2 weeks. Or no, a week. San Diego State has not touched the court in almost a week. Um, and that was since the last game they played was against Gonzaga. And to be real with you, if y'all remember, we were on Gonzaga in that game. They only lost by 13 points against Gonzaga, and that is super fucking impressive. Now, Creighton, their last game, they lost by 11 to Nebraska, and again, kind of questionable. They are shooting a little questionable. I don't really know what Creighton is this year, guys. And that was a really bad loss to Nebraska. I'm sorry. I think the Aztecs losing to 13 by Gonzaga shows me a lot. And losing by 11 to Nebraska from a team like Creighton is kind of bad. In my book, it's really bad. I like San Diego State here. This line is telling me that San Diego State wins this game outright. I know it's not a comfortable bet, but I'm telling y'all, it also worries me because San Diego State has not played that tough of a schedule at all. But come on, man. We're going to listen to the books on this one. Give me San Diego State here plus the points. Be careful with this game, man. But if Creighton plays anything like they did in that Nebraska game, they are really going to struggle with San Diego State here. All right, let's keep it moving. Looks like we got UConn taking on Colorado. I mean, we had a great call yesterday, guys. We had a great call on Memphis yesterday. I really hope that some of you guys tailed me on that one. I don't think anyone did because I think if a couple, excuse me, I think if a couple people did tail me on that play yesterday, I probably would have got tagged or someone would have said something like, "Yo, bro, go looking on that game." Um, so I don't know if anyone actually listened and took UConn or took Memphis yesterday. But I know we did in the Discord. I know we did. Oliver actually caught a really good tick. He caught two really good tickets on Memphis when Memphis was winning by I think 5 or 6. Oliver got plus money on the money line, and he got plus points on Memphis. His book made a mistake, and he hammered it. Obviously, there was still like 6 minutes left when he took it. And if you guys watched that game yesterday, you know what happened. Uh, UConn hits a fucking three with like 2 seconds left, takes it to overtime. Dude, it was an insane game. One of my favorite games of the year, man. The only other game that I could think of that was better than that one was that game Kansas played. Or was it Kentucky? No, it was Duke versus Kansas, I believe. It was Duke versus someone. That was the only other game that I think that I can say matched that one last night. That Memphis game was awesome. All right, so this one we faded UConn yesterday. I will not fade UConn back to back. All right, I'm just putting that out there. We will not fade UConn back to back. This is the number 2 team in the country. Uh, I mean, they are coming off of a upset loss to Memphis. I mean, I'm sorry. Colorado is just catching UConn at a really bad time, in my opinion. Now this is a back to back, obviously, and the Huskies have played some pretty bad teams to start. We talked about it yesterday, right? UConn does not have, and that was one of the main reasons why we faded UConn yesterday, because UConn was in their biggest step up game of the year, and they have not played anyone. They haven't even left the crib, let alone played anyone tough. So playing a team like Memphis, man, they better have been on their A game. And I gotta give it to them, man. They fought. But Memphis ends up pulling it out. Now here they are. They got Memphis under their belt. They just played a really tough team yesterday. Now you're in a step down game against Colorado. And we've seen Colorado just take their first loss as well against Michigan State. So you could argue the same case for Michigan. I mean for Colorado, but Colorado is in a big step up spot, and UConn's in a big step down spot, and I just think that this UConn team, regardless of who they played, regardless, strength of schedule, regardless of them losing to Memphis, that wasn't a bad loss. It wasn't. Memphis is really good this year. Um, this is still one of the best teams in the country, and you can't forget that. So I'm laying the points with UConn. I think they bounce back big here. I don't think Colorado is going to have a second to breathe in this game. So I like UConn in this one, man. We will not fade UConn back to back. I mean, this is a big point spread, but we're all over it. Give me UConn here. We're gonna lay the points, man, with the Huskies. All right. Let's keep it moving. We got Penn State taking on Clemson. So again, Clemson, uh, I'm not gonna say F you because you know, I like Clemson a lot. I got a lot of respect for Clemson. They are a great fucking basketball program. They always have been. They probably always will be. Um, but God damn, y'all ripped my soul out last night. Um, so that scar is going to be on for a while right there. But Penn State, man, I'm not looking to fade Clemson here. Maybe I undervalued Clemson a little bit, or not undervalued, underestimated, I should say. Right? Maybe I underestimated Clemson a little bit, and that's going to happen. When you're judging over 300 and something teams, you're not going to be able to pick every team right that is going to downgrade or upgrade in the year. So maybe I was wrong about Clemson. Maybe this team really is going to be like that. I mean, we did see Penn State. They're undefeated. They continue their run. They blew out Fordham on Monday. I mean, dude, this Penn State team looks for real. Um, but now because of it, yeah, they look good, but Clemson, this is a huge step up game for Penn State. Okay. Clemson does have one loss to Boise State. We talked about that yesterday, right? Clemson does have that one loss to Boise State. That was one of the reasons why we faded Clemson yesterday, was because of that same game opponent, right? Or that same the opponents having the same team, and San Fran beat Boise State and put up 84 points, where Clemson lost by 13 and gave up 85 points. So that just goes to show. That's why I tell you guys all the time when we talk about common opponents, I don't put too much into that. I really don't. That is like the barrel of the bottom of the barrel stats that I consider sometimes, you know. But this early in the season, you know, it was on there and we talked about it, but whatever. You know, Penn's offense, man. Penn State's offense is, I don't have a word for it. It's pretty incredible. If you haven't watched the Penn State game yet, man, watch this game tonight and watch how these boys move. I mean, they are shooting 52% from the field. That's through 6 games. That's through 6 games. They are shooting 52% from the field. Now, are these numbers sustainable? Probably not. No. But even if they do go down a little bit, that is still incredible shooting. Clemson, they looked really good last night. I mean, they dominated the paint, which they shouldn't have because they had a huge mismatch in the paint. But Clemson dominated the paint last night. They dominated the glass. They were shooting from the perimeter. They looked really good. I mean, I think Clemson's going to be able to hang in this game. One thing I know, we're going to see points. I'll tell you that right now. We are going to see points. I'm not necessarily comfortable fading Clemson after yesterday, but that's just me being biased. I think Penn State is the better team. But again, I'm starting to feel like I underestimated Clemson. So, you know, on this one, you guys go with what you've seen, do your own research possibly, and let me know what you think. I think Penn State is the better team right now. I think getting plus money with Penn State is a really good look. One thing I can tell you for a fact, though, this game is going to be extremely close. It's going to be back and forth. I like the over 153. I think it's the safest play on the board. So that's where I'm going with this one. Cali Wagers is in the building. Cali, I'm getting you up right now. Let me put all my stuff down real quick and we'll bring you up. All right, Cali Wagers in the building.
Hey, what's up?
What's up, man? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Perfect.
All right, perfect, man. So we're talking about Clemson and Penn State right now, college basketball. We're in the 4 o'clock slate. Is there any games that you want to talk about before we move on? We are on the Clemson game right now. If you want to touch on that, or if we skipped any games that you want to talk about in the early time frame, let me know.
I had to go back. I got to go back and double check since everything airs so early and often.
Yeah, there's
Um,
like the Yukon and Colorado game. It's San Diego State and Creighton. You know, that's really the two major ones.
Early one that I do like a little bit. Do lean USF. San Francisco playing Fordham today. 10:30 in the morning. I do like the Dons a little bit in this one early. Um, on top of that, I'm trying to look at what the other plays that I gave out this morning with our timing. Too many points in the UConn game. I think especially with how it went yesterday with overtime. We did have Memphis +9, and we had Memphis money line yesterday. So that was
Good
that.
shit. So did
Yes,
I. Yep.
yes, and I am a diehard UConn fan. So not betting with the heart, betting with the bankroll. So it was, a great game, and a good spot for Memphis. So
It was such a good game.
enjoyable. Unfortunate they gave up that three, and
Oh my
unfortunate.
God, the force to overtime, that was ridiculous. What about the tech?
I
The
know.
technical foul was crazy. I was like, you guys fucked up. I was so happy. I was like, you fucked up. And nope, no, you didn't, because they answered right back, man.
Pretty good for
Yeah,
November
it was
basketball. Not
such a good
bad.
game.
Um, but yeah, I think in terms of that first slate, I think that was it. I do lean the other side. I was gonna say I do lean Texas A&M a little bit today over Oregon. I think it's 2.5 or 3. Not real strong. I do have a couple plays for the after an evening slate where you're getting into, so I can just sit back and join that now.
All right, perfect. We're actually about to talk about the Oregon and Texas A&M game right now. So that is the next game we got on the board here. We do got the Texas A&M and Oregon game. So we got this is going to be a really good matchup. This is the neutral site in Las Vegas. It's called the Vegas Showdown, the Chocolate Vegas Showdown. So there's quite a few of these bigger games are in Vegas today for the Vegas Showdown, and this is one of them. Oregon is getting 3 points. Texas A&M laying 3, and we got a total of 147. I'm actually on Texas A&M here. I'm gonna lay the points. I like the money line at a minus 162 as well. Both teams have not played that tough of a schedule so far. So this is a step up game in my opinion for both teams. I think this is going to be the toughest game that both teams have played so far. I do think the Aggies had the tougher schedule. They played UCF on the road. They played Ohio State. This Texas A&M team is one of the best offensive rebounding teams in the country, without a doubt. They have a great 2 point defense, and that is one of the main reasons why I like them in this spot. Because if you look at Oregon and their numbers, Oregon is not shooting threes this year at all. All of their points, more than 90% of Oregon's points are coming from the paint. Uh and this Texas A&M team had, like I said, they have the one of the best 2 point defenses in the league. Um I mean, especially when it comes to a step up game like this on a neutral site, I mean, I got to go with Texas A&M here, man. It's just I think they got an advantage on both sides of the ball.
Yeah, and I think Oregon could be one of those teams again that, excuse me, that does come through later in the year. One of those teams that you don't want to see come tournament time like they are so often, even as they stay kind of off the radar during that regular season. But I don't know, this year feels a little different. It's so early still, it's hard to really jump to conclusions. But at the same time, you do like what you've seen strength of schedule-wise, opponent-wise, result-wise with Texas A&M. I do think that makes a difference, especially this time of the year, when you are going to go against, a tournament level competition in this game. So like the atmosphere, like the game, do lean A&M, like I said, was a little, juice was a little better earlier. However, like I said, find your options, find your outlets, plenty of them out there that give really great juice. So if you like a game, don't just settle with the worst number.
Yep, for sure. Yo, can you do me a favor? Can you get the FSU lines for me? We're going to talk about this game real quick. I don't have Florida State lines for some reason. It looks like they're playing uh Western Carolina,
Yeah, let me see. If somebody else grabs it first, go ahead and pop in, but let me see.
because I do not have them at all in my book. If
What
not, we're
time?
just going to skip it, but I do got to play for that game.
What time is the game?
Um, I'm not sure. I think it's around. It's right. It's got to be right around 7, somewhere around there. Maybe
4 o'clock. 4 o'clock here.
4 o'clock.
7 your time. Yeah. Give me a sec.
I do not have it on my book at all.
No, it's off the board.
All right. Well, we'll talk about it later. I do without going into any without any lines or nothing. I'm going to be laying the points with Florida State most likely. So I'll just put that out there. I'll be laying the points with Florida State most likely. All right, let's keep it moving. We got Memphis taking on Michigan State. So Memphis is coming in, getting 1.5 points. Michigan State is laying 1.5. You got a total of 153.5 here. Michigan State is a favorite in this game at a -118. Memphis is a -102. Tyler, your mic is going crazy, bro. I can't hear nothing.
There you go. Sorry.
You're good. All right. So Michigan State -118, and Memphis is a -102. Definitely a tougher game for me. Like I said, after seeing Memphis yesterday, I mean, I do think Memphis. This is such a hard game for me because I love both teams. I really do. I love both teams. So for it to be priced the way it is, it makes complete sense to me. We just seen Memphis beat UConn. Like, do we really want to try to back them again? I really think that Memphis is the better team, though, Callie. I really do. Michigan State's offense, uh, you know, I don't know, man. I know Memphis has a better offense, but Michigan State's defense, comes kind of in clutch here. Memphis is averaging almost 85 points per game. It makes this game extremely difficult. Um, Look, I'm leaning Memphis. I think if Memphis can score 80 plus points like I think they can, they win this game. So give me Memphis here. I'm sticking to, like I said yesterday, I'm sticking to what I know. I know Memphis's offense is for real, and I expect it to show up today.
Yeah, I mean, the only question mark you'd really have would be, Memphis's stamina after playing such a hard game,
Yeah.
less than 24 hours ago. So there is definitely concern with that. But at the same time, this is what it's about. Memphis is playing well. They are playing tournament basketball, looking for a championship here. And it wouldn't surprise me. I think there is definite value with these guys. I would say, even though it is, a bit high, like you said, 153 does not seem too bad. The over in that game seems like at a certain point, defense is going to break down. They want to get up and down. We know how these teams want to run. We saw how it went yesterday. Nearly 100 points with that overtime. So, and they were easily into the 80s before that. So, I
Yep.
think that good opportunity for both these teams. Michigan State saw this yesterday. They watched this game. They know what's happening, and Memphis is playing at an elite level right now. So I think that good chance for both these sides. Getting Memphis at +1.5, I think, is pretty great. And
Yeah.
I'd lean the over 153 as well.
Yeah, I like the over 153. You actually talked me into that one. I like that 153 a lot. I think that might honestly be the safer play. I just have a lot of respect, obviously, for Michigan State. Super well coached, love Izzo. I mean, there's just a lot of respect from me for Michigan State, and I feel like I might be kind of blurring my vision a little bit with that. Because it does just look like an obvious spot for Memphis here, but we'll see. I do like that over a lot though. We got Manhattan taking on Virginia. So Manhattan is getting seven. This game stood out to me like a sore thumb. You know, it starts at 7 o'clock. You got Manhattan getting 17 points. You got Virginia laying 17 points. We got a total of 127.5. So Virginia returns home now after that Bahamas trip, right? So they just were in the Bahamas, and it was literally everything but a vacation for Virginia because they got absolutely manhandled in the islands. Um, they got rocked by Tennessee. They got rocked by who was the other one? St. John's. They got destroyed by St. John's. Both games Both games they gave up 80 points, man. You know, and that is, or no, they didn't. They only gave up 80 points to St. John's. I'm sorry. It was only St. John's they gave up the 80 points to. But who can tell me the last time you've seen, besides that game, when's the last time you've seen Virginia give up 80 points? I mean, I feel like it's been a while. I mean, we are talking about Virginia defense, and I'm sorry, it looks a little vulnerable right now coming into this game. Um I can't tell you the last time where I was questioning Virginia's defense, and I'm questioning Virginia's defense coming into this game. The Jaspers are not terrible. They I mean, it looks really good with the points here, man. I'm going to take a point here. I want to take the points, man. You know, I can't see Virginia having that bad of a defensive showing again, but getting this many points, if you allow Manhattan, because Virginia's offense is not good. You know, we got to remember that. Virginia's offense is not that good. So if you allow Manhattan to put up 70 points or 60 points with 17 points in their back pocket, Virginia's in trouble for a cover. So I'm taking the points here. It's way too many in my opinion.
Yeah, it's definitely a troublesome sight. You know, Virginia has been that team we've always expected to be the grinder on defense. They're going to wear you down. They're going to beat you 61-55. You know, it's
Yep.
which actually kind of correlates with what this total is, but um, concerns. You know, you look at a total this low, and it's like a football total where you see a total in the 40s, but a team is favored by 28, 31. You know, it's definite concerns. UVA has to stay on schedule. And if Manhattan can even keep this thing remotely close, I mean, where do the points come from for them to blow this thing open? And bigger questions for bigger questions for Virginia versus like we've seen in so many other sports. This is a huge deal to Manhattan. You're playing a
Yeah.
Power Five. You're playing a Power. What do we have now? Three Power. Whatever we are now. It means a lot more to Manhattan. I would expect them to be battling in this one. I would expect them to put out, their best effort they'll have. And 17 to me is big. Is Virginia motivated to keep it at that number, even if they get up there? So a lot of ways that I think Manhattan has an ability to stick around. And hey, you know what? They start making a couple shots and put a little bit of pressure on Virginia. I would love to see how they can respond. So 17 to me is too high. I would lead Manhattan in this one as well.
I love it, man. I love it. Yeah, I'm glad to hear that because I was kind of questioning myself on this one. I was like, am I kind of beating up on Virginia's defense too much here? But at the same time, I don't think I am. I don't think I am. I don't think Virginia's defense is ready to have a game against the Jaspers. I just don't. I think Manhattan's offense is good enough where they will be able to put up points. I mean, let with this big of a number and as bad as Virginia's offense is and as slow as Virginia is, I mean, a lot of things could go right in our favor to cover this number. So I'm right there with you, man. I'm not going to try to think too much more into this. We're going to be rocking with the Jaspers against Virginia today. All right. Next game we got. My bad. I just deleted my entire screen, so I got to get DraftKings back up. The next game we are going to talk about. These games start to get really good here. We got Houston taking on Bama. So we got Houston taking on Alabama. You got Houston laying 4 points. You got Alabama getting 4 points. We got a total of 149 and a half, slightly favored to the over here. You got Houston at a minus 185. You got Bama at a plus 154. I mean, what a game. This is going to be epic. We have some really good fucking games in the Vegas showdown tonight, and this is one of them, guys. This is just between two top 10 teams right, in the nation going at it. Two different teams also. You got Bama on your right hand, who is known for nothing but offense, right? Then you got Houston on your left hand that is known for nothing but their defense. But in my opinion, this Houston team is so well balanced and such a dangerous team that they are the clear choice today for me. I'm sorry. I mean, bro, do not underestimate this Houston offense, man. I mean, I don't know if you guys have seen them yet. I don't know if you guys looked at their stats yet, but bro, this team is for real. So I wrote down a lot of stats that I found out with Houston today. So or last night. Either way, they're a top 5 defense right now in the country, right? Uh but they are also a top 5 offense when it comes to adjusted offense. They are a top 5. They don't turn over the ball at all, right? They don't turn over the ball at all. They are one of the best offensive rebounding teams in the country. They are number 1 in the country in 3-point shooting. Yeah, all offensive stats here, people. Uh, they are hitting they are shooting 49% from the 3-point line. That is insane. Okay? There is no way you can sustain them numbers. All right? And I get that. Them numbers are not sustainable at all. But Jesus Christ. I mean, this team is an offensive powerhouse right now. And on top of it, they are a top 5 defense. And you're playing Alabama? Bro, I don't know how we do. Okay, so Houston, they took a loss to Auburn, okay, and they should want to be playing with a chip on their shoulder. That, in my opinion, for Houston, Auburn's good, but that was an unexcusable loss, in my opinion. This Houston team is way too good, and I know they are going to have a chip on their shoulder in this game. This is a chance for Houston to right their wrong. We just seen Bama give up 87 points. 87 points in their 2 previous games. Okay? They gave up 87 to Purdue. These are their 2 step up games of the year, might I add. Right? So this is their biggest step up game of the year so far. But they already played 2 really good teams in Purdue and Illinois. And in both of them games, Alabama gave up 87 points in both them games. If you give up 80 points to Houston, you're going to lose this game by 15. That's all I'm saying. I love Houston today. Love them. I think they beat the shit out of Alabama, but that's just me. I don't want to sleep on Alabama. This is a really, really good team, but you are catching Houston at a bad time. Uh, you know, And I think Alabama might sleep on this Houston offense a little bit. They might be like, well, you know what? I think we can outshoot Houston today. So we're going to kind of fall off of playing the defense a little bit, and we're just going to outshoot Houston. If they come in with that mentality, Houston is going to shoot them out the fucking gym. I mean, this team cannot be slept on, man. Houston's offense is for real. Their defense is for real. For real, they're one of the most well balanced teams in the country right now, in my opinion, man. Callie, how you feeling about this one, man? You're muted if you're talking, Cal. I don't know if he's here or not.
There you go. Sorry.
Oh, there you
Uh,
are.
Lean the team total over in this one. I would have concerns as well, like you said, with what Alabama has had lapse wise in defensive efforts. I think that the only way to win this game is for them to outscore, like you said. Defense is obviously going to be an issue at times. I would look at maybe over that 149.5, and I do lean Houston in this one. I think. Alabama is going to improve as the year goes on. And I do think tournament time, they will be, another solid season for them and a team that you don't want to have to reckon with. But I think again right now, early in the year, team that's gelling, playing really well, and that means a lot when you're just 2 weeks into the season, 3 weeks into the season. So I do like Houston here, 3.5, 4 out there right now. So I would lean Houston on this one.
All right, all right. Glad to hear it. I definitely like the over as well. I do think this is a good spot for an over. Like I said, a lot of people might look at this and be like under because of Houston, because you just automatically, for people who don't really get involved in sports from a betting perspective, the way we do, and that's how I look at it when I'm thinking of public. When I'm thinking of public, right? I don't look as the public as a in-depth analysis type of people that look at betting through, I mean, look at sports through a betting perspective the way we do. So when they look at this game, they're going to look at Houston and think defense right away, not knowing how good offensively this team really is this year. So I think the over is a really good play. I honestly believe that this total might go down, the later the day gets. I think this total might actually start to climb down. But I could be wrong about that. But I'm just putting that out there. All right. Let's keep moving, man. We got a couple more games. We got another super good fucking game here. We got Kansas taking on Duke, man. Kansas taking on Duke here. I mean, this is just such a good night of basketball. Then we got the NBA. But man, so you got Duke taking on Kansas. It looks like Kansas is coming in as a slight dog here. Hold on, I'm trying to get to the line now. So you got, why can't I find this fucking game? Okay, here it is. You got Kansas getting 2.5 points. You got Duke laying 2.5. We got a total of 148.5 here, locked up on both sides. You're getting a really good price for Duke at a minus 155 on the money line. You got Kansas at a plus 130 on the money line. This is another game in Vegas for the Vegas Showdown. Two powerhouses. I do have to say, Plug Talk the other day, we faded Duke. We faded Duke versus Kentucky, and my God, was that a great call. All right, so I got to pat myself on the back for that. That game was amazing, by the way. That was the game I was talking about. Besides last night and that UConn and Memphis game, that Duke game versus Kentucky was absolutely incredible. That was one of my favorite non-conference games of the year so far. Now you got this game, right? Where Duke bounced back in that last game versus Arizona, by the way, which was incredible. Uh Duke played Arizona, and it was in Arizona, and Duke impressed the fuck out of me. They held Arizona to 55 points in Zona, bro. How do you do that? Like, that is incredible. So this that opened up my eyes to just how good this Duke defense truly is. I'm sorry. You hold Arizona to 55 points on their home court, and you got my respect right away. That is just amazing. And it goes to show, because Duke is the number one team in adjusted defense efficiency this year. They are, in my opinion, the best defensive team in the country right now. Over Houston, over everybody. Duke has, right now, from what I've seen, Duke has the best defense in the country. And I mean, I'll argue that. And that's not including this roster. This roster is stacked to the gods. Obviously, they have one of the best players in college basketball, Cooper Flag. I mean, what is there not to like about this Duke team? Honestly, what is there not to like? They are a super well balanced team, super good coached. Now, Kansas is a good team. There is just way too many questions that I have about Kansas for me to even try to fade Duke here. Um, and don't get me wrong, tonight all them questions that I have about Kansas are going to be answered. All right, this is the perfect game. I will be dialed into this game like a fly on shit. I will be watching this game very closely because Kansas is a team I had circled coming into this year, and all the questions I have were not able to be answered until tonight. They are playing Duke, and this is where I find out who Kansas really is. So I am super excited about this game. I'm laying the minus 155. I'm paying the juice. I'm putting 4 units on it. It's going to be my biggest bet, not of the year, but it's definitely hands down my biggest bet of the day, of the week. I'm taking Duke on the money line at the minus 155. I'm paying the juice, and I'm just going to sit down and pray I'm able to pay rent this month. Callie, what you got in this one, bro?
Yeah, I had Duke had Duke last week in that battle with Arizona. So that was a nice first wager of the season with the Blue Devils. And yeah, I'm going to go right back with them again today. I think that there's definite value still on Duke. Public transparency and public, perception of this team has definitely changed a little bit with Krzyzewski leaving years ago, and things change. These teams that are brought into the spotlight are varying every season, but the constant has been Duke, and I think that I really like how this rotation's working. I like the coaching right now. I like the way like the mesh that's going between them, and it looks like a team that is destined to do some pretty good things this year. I like Duke again today. Debating on if I'll take the spread as well as the money line, but one way or the other, I will be on Blue Devils.
Love it, man. Love it. I do want to look into some player props for you guys in this game. Obviously, I just automatically go to Cooper Flag. I mean, he is going to be the best player on the floor. But I don't know if I don't know if I should. I mean, I already got a lot of money invested in this game. Um, I just don't know, but and I'm not getting any player props anyway on DraftKings to even see where the lines are at. So we're not even going to try to do that right now. All right, let's get to this last game and then we'll get to the NBA. The NBA card is short today. We'll be quick with it, so we're almost out of here. We have last game is the UNC game. I just can't remember who they're playing. Oh, Auburn, duh. They're playing Auburn. So we got this is another really good game, man. You got Auburn laying 4.5 points here. You got North Carolina getting 4.5. You got a total of 166 locked up on both sides at a minus 110. And we have a pretty big price tag for Auburn here at a minus 192. Carolina plus 160. I like, as I've said many times this year, I like this Auburn team a lot. They showed a lot of fight so far this year. They are an impressive team. I think they are a very good team. I just don't know if I'm comfortable laying this many points with them against North Carolina team. This is one of the harder games of the night for me. I'll have no action in on this game at all. I am leaning Auburn here. But like I said, it's a lot of points to be getting with the Tar Heels team because Auburn, they have been their defense is super impressive, right? So that's one thing that has me leaning on Auburn. But like I said, we are not going to see UNC get this many points against anybody a lot this year. So the value for me is on the Tar Heels, but I like Auburn as the better team. So do what you will with that. Um, I think there's still a lot of experience on this Carolina team, and it's kind of hard, man. It's kind of hard. It's kind of hard not to take these points. I don't know, man. How do you feel about this? This is a neutral site, but It's at the Civic Center. So yeah, I mean it's going. This is a Carolina game. Okay, uh, I'm telling you all that right now. This is going to be a home court feel for Carolina. There's probably not going to be any Auburn fans here at all. It's probably going to be a huge fan of all Carolina fans here. Probably
Yeah, it's a tough game. It's for me. It's going to be a viewer point only game.
same.
I, I do think that North Carolina is going to have some ups and downs this year. Had them the other day against Hawaii. They handled business, laid off yesterday, and most likely will lay off again today. Two teams that are just, I mean, 9-1 combined between them. Things look good. It's sexy, but at the same time, I think there's concerns on both sides. It's so early, and you look at a lot of these teams. This is third game in 3 days, third game in 4 days. It's the most they've played this year so far. So there is question marks.
Yep.
Would lean the over again because I do think that with these college kids, we know defense goes first over the numbers always, and with these kind of deep rotation games or starters are going to play a lot of minutes, I would have a little bit of concern towards how the defense looks. So would see it that side. Otherwise, 4.5, 5 is tough, but I do think that Auburn is the better squad. I just worry with late game shenanigans and how things go that that 4.5, 5 could change. So I would lay off and I would lean the over.
All right, love it. Yeah, I'm with you. I do like the over a little bit here. I almost feel like Carolina might be getting a little disrespected here, but I could be wrong. This game is going to tell us a lot about both teams. I agree with you 100%. Over might be the safer play, but I agree with the aspect also of this is a watch game for sure. Kind of get us feel for both teams a little more here. All right, let's move into NBA and we'll get these good people up out of here. I am going to once again be using. I try to let you guys know every time I'm going to be using the bot. So I will be using Jackson today to give you guys player props. If there's any player props that I absolutely love for my own, I will give them to you. Obviously, like I did yesterday. But like I said, all my player props that I'm about to give you right now, unless stated otherwise, is going to be from the bot. All right, so let's get into it, man. Uh we got some NBA to talk about here. Pretty small card today, but a good card nonetheless. We got the Bulls versus the Wizards. I was wrong about the Nuggets yesterday. Just let me come out and say that I was wrong about the Nuggets yesterday. Very rare occurrence happened yesterday. But I'll just put that out. I wasn't wrong about the Hawks though, so can't hold that one against me. I was not, but I was very adamant about yesterday's card. There was a lot of games I was very emotional over, and it was for good reason. But I was wrong about a couple. I was right about a couple. I mean, it's just the way the cookie crumbles. But I just wanted to say that because we had a lot of people in the show yesterday, and I was like I said, I was pretty adamant about a lot of them games. All right, so we got the Bulls and the Wizards, man. Uh, where is my thing? Here it is. All right, so we got the Bulls and the Wizards. You got the Bulls laying 5 points. You got the Wizards getting 5 points here. You got a total of 245, slightly favored to the over. I'm not big on either one of these teams. The Washington Wizards are trash. I mean trash city. It's almost a little disrespectful for the Bulls to only be laying 5 points against the Wizards. I don't think that's validated. I really don't. And the line opened up at a 4.5. And I know not many people are on the Bulls the way I am, kind of, because I don't look at this team as a terrible team. I look at the Wizards as a terrible team. But I do think that this line is a little questionable. So we look at the Bulls injury list. You know, I don't really see too many people worth noting. The Bulls are still missing a couple players like Horton Tucker, Patrick Williams, but I mean, I still like. I don't get the line necessarily. Wizards, their Jordan Poole is questionable for this game. The Bulls could really get back on track with a win here. And they know that. This is a game you cannot drop. I don't care if you're on the road. When you're in the situation the Bulls are, these are must win games. These are games that you can win with your hands tied behind your back, per se. And the Wizards are just slumping. Absolutely down and out. They are TKO'd for the year. Forget about them. I have to say the line is a little ridiculous, man. Um, I think the Bulls get a road win here, no problem. I like the Chicago Bulls here, Callie. Callie, you there? You're muted if you're talking. All right. Let's see what the bot likes, and then we'll keep it moving. Um, but yeah, I definitely think the line is a bit disrespectful to the Bulls, man. I really do. So the bot likes Kuzma's assist to go under tonight. It's only at a 2.5. The under's at a plus 126. So Kyle Kuzma under 2.5 assists. This line has gone under in 8 of the last 10 games. For the over, my boy Vucevic, I love this dude, man. I really do. So it's like the bot likes his 3 pointers to go over tonight at a minus 120, over 1.5. He's projected to get three tonight. This line is hit in 7 of the last 10 games. Also likes Josh Giddey's points and assists tonight. This line has gone over in 7 of the last 10 games. Callie, are you back?
Yeah, sorry about that.
No, you're good. You got anything for this Bulls game?
No, I do not. Easy pass for me on this one. Chicago's been on a couple different sides for me this year. I cannot get a consistent feel for this team. So early as it is, easy pass.
All right, perfect. Um, let's keep it moving. We got the Bucks taking on the Heat. We got the Bucks taking on the Heat here. It looks like the Bucks are getting 2.5 points in this game. The Miami Heat are at home laying 2.5. We got a total of 223. Slightly favored to the under. You can catch Miami at home at a minus 135. You can catch the Bucks on the road at a plus 114. So when I look at this game, it opened up at a 1.5, by the way, in favor of Miami. First thing I want to look at is the injury list. It looks like Middleton still out. No one. I don't see anyone really worth noting on the Bucks injury list. Where the Heat, Rozier is coming back, I think, and I think that might be why we see the line the way it is. Getting Terry Rozier back is pretty big. That is going to be a huge addition to this bull. I mean, to this Bulls, to this Miami's roster, man. The Bucks have had definitely their ups and downs this year. I've talked hella shit on the Bucks this year. And I it was validated, but now they're starting to get back in the groove of things, man. They're starting to play better ball. And I can see a lot of people buying into the whole Heat thing with Rozier coming back, blase blah. I like the Bucks in this spot, bro. I think I'm not buying into the whole Terry Rozier thing. I think the public will a lot. I like fading Miami at home. I'd rather back Miami on the road than I'd rather back Miami at home. It's just one of the rules that I wrote down for the NBA a couple years ago, and I kind of stick with it. The Bucks are on the road, but they have a rest advantage here. They have a couple days off compared to the Heat, right? Who hasn't? So, I think all the value is on the Bucks here. Like I said, they're not missing anybody notable except for Middleton. So, and with the hype of Terry Rozier coming back, the line opened up at a 1.5. It's moving to a 2.5 in favor of the Heat. I like the line movement. I'm on the Bucks here, man.
Again, two teams that I just right now despise from a betting standpoint. Um, yeah, the Bucks have just been. I mean, do we trust this team when it comes, push comes to shove in a big game or a playoff situation? I still just have major questions with this Bucks team. A decent spot though. Miami again has been uh, a big question mark up and down, and like you said, just big variance with what we're getting home and road for this team. So another pretty simple pass for me tonight.
All right, all right. Um, Over in this game, it likes Bam. Uh, report. Rebounds and assists over 13.5. He's projected to get 15 tonight, and it likes Hero. Points and rebounds over 26.5 tonight. He's projected to get 31. To be honest with you, his PRA is set at a 31.5 tonight. I think that's where you go with Tyler Hero. I think you take his PRA and not just his points and rebounds. So I would definitely look in Tyler Hero's direction for the PRA if you were going to take him tonight. Obviously, Giannis is always a good look. His PRA is always a great look. You could look at maybe Giannis's shots blocked, something like that. But Giannis's PRA is set at a 48.5 at a minus 110. That's going to be my bet for this game. I like Giannis tonight. Give me his PRA here at a 48.5 to go over. All right, let's keep it moving. We got the Rockets and the Timberwolves. So we got the Rockets taking on the Timberwolves here. You got the Rockets getting 3.5, Timberwolves laying 3.5. We got a total of 220. Slightly favored to the over. Rockets at a plus 136, Timberwolves at a minus 162. Um, I'm not a fan of the Timberwolves, man. This team is a team that continues and continues and continues to underachieve, in my opinion. Um, it's just tough, man. I do think that the Rockets. If you're going to beat the Rockets, you're going to beat the Rockets on the road. You know what I mean? That's the way I look at it. If you're going to beat Houston, you're going to beat them on the road. It's when they're vulnerable, because this team is not vulnerable at home. The Rockets are still missing a couple of players. Steven Adams ruled out. Jalen Green is questionable, which is big. Where the Timberwolves, it looks like Ingles, Conley, both questionable. Look, man, the Rockets are coming into this game just playing the better ball. Okay. They're a team that I trust much more, even though I know they are more vulnerable on the road than they are at home. I kind of feel like they're just a better team. And I don't trust the Timberwolves, man. I don't. They have been just I mean, just look at their last few games, man. I mean, I don't know, man. I mean, Julius Randle, Gobert, I give me the Rockets here. We're getting plus money. The line screams Timberwolves. I'll say that right now. This line screams Timberwolves. I feel like the Rockets are probably going to be one of the bigger underdog bets of the day. But I just can't. I I can't back the Timberwolves here. I can't. Give me the Rockets plus a 3.5, but be super careful.
Yeah, I agree. Love backing the Rockets as a dog. This season they've been great with it. The Adams injury is still big, but I mean the T Wolves just continue to underperform, and they've been terrible. In the fourth quarter, they've been letting go a bunch of leads, multiple games that I've decided to sit down and watch. This team just becomes a shell of itself in the second half, and they've been really poor finishing games versus where I think the Rockets have done a really nice job of solidifying and closing out games. Give me the Rockets plus 3.5.
All right, I love it. Uh, we got Van Fleet. Fred Van Fleet, rebounds and assists to go over 9.5 here. It's at a minus 130. He's projected to get 11. It's hit in 8 of the last 10 games. Um, I would have said something for Jalen Green. To be real with y'all, but obviously he's questionable. We don't know if he's going to be playing or not. Most likely he's not. The line kind of indicates it. I could see Anthony Edwards snapping in this game. I really could. I just don't like I just don't like his line. I mean, you can't his numbers are terrible. I do like Gobert for a double double. I think that would be a good one. If you go back and look at Gobert's record against the Rockets, I mean, he has some really good numbers. It looks like 6 straight games. So 6 straight games against the Rockets. Rudy Gobert's hit a double double. That's a big trend, bro. The Timberwolves have also beat the Rockets in 10 of their last 11 games. I didn't know that neither. So it looks like the Timberwolves just dominate the Rockets, man. Also, Julius Randle, 3 pointers. He has made 2 or more threes in his last 6 games against the Rockets as well. So I'm just throwing that out there. I like Rudy Gobert for a double double though. That's one of my favorite. That's one of my favorite ones in this game. All right, let's take it back. We got only one more game, I believe. No, two. We got the Spurs taking on the Jazz. Two teams that I dislike very much. So you got the Spurs coming in as a pretty, as a road favorite here. I don't know. I think it's justified, but at the same time, this Jazz team pisses me off, man. So the Spurs minus 135 on the money line. They're laying 2.5 points on the road. Where you got the Jazz here as a home dog, getting 2.5 at a plus 114, with a total set at 226.5. I mean, the Spurs 9-8, the Jazz 4-12. Line opened up as a damn near pick 'em almost. So you see money coming in on them. I'll tell you one thing I do like here. I like Wemby. I do like Wemby a lot in this game. I think he should snap. Um, but I am kind of leaning the Jazz a little bit. I mean, the Jazz are in better shape. But this is still a Jazz team that is, they're just, I don't know, man. They are a bad team. They're not winning games. They don't know how to close a game to save their life. And it's very hard to put money on them. Um, you know, they've been more competitive with marketing, for sure. And they're coming off of a huge win over the Knicks. Um, I'm just not big with the Spurs, man. I'm just not. So you got to give me the Jazz here. I'm sorry. I'm taking the Jazz. I mean, like I said, man, it's impressive with what they're doing, but I'm backing the Jazz, man. I'm sorry.
That question marks too. Wembanyama misses those 3 games and comes back, has a nice game against the Warriors, and it just seems too good to be true right now. You really telling me this Spurs team is rolling? Debatable. I mean, had a huge comeback, great game against the Warriors on, I guess it was Saturday, and it's been a decent run. I just don't know how I can invest, anything into either one of these teams right now. The Jazz are putrid as expected, and the Spurs are playing, decent. There's definite promise with what they have, but And just another one of those games that to me screamed layoff. There's just way too many question marks. And again, with with the multiple knee issues that's going on with the Spurs, you just never know. One poor landing, one tweak, one anything, and they're going to baby this guy, especially with how early he is and how well he's done. So I always worry when it comes to the Spurs games if I'm ever backing them.
Yeah, 100%. I agree. This is definitely a tricky game, man. And I don't know, man. I don't want to get. I don't want to spend too much time on it. It's just a really tricky game. I do like Colin Sexton today a lot. The bot gave me his threes. But when I go back and look, right, I pulled up the rest of his stuff. So the bot likes his 3 pointers today. Over 1.5, it's at a minus 148. He's projected to get three threes today. This line has hit in 8 of the last 10 games. When I go and pull up his other stuff, man, and just look at his overall performances head to head against the Spurs, I mean, Jesus, bro, I like what I see here. He has hit 16 points in 12 of his last 13 games against the Spurs. Um, he has hit this three mark in plenty games. Another one is marketing. Him against the Spurs, he's been incredible. So I think we're leaning on the right side here, man. But I love Colin Sexton today. You got to give me his points and his 3 pointers here. I like them both. All right, last game of the night, man. We got the Lake Show taking on the very disappointing Suns, in my opinion. So we got the Suns coming in as a home favorite over the Lake Show. You got the Lakers getting 2 points. You got the Lakers at a plus 110 on the money line. The Suns at a minus 130 on the money line at home. And we got a total of 234.5. One of the bigger totals of the night. Um, I want everything in me wants to back the Lakers, Callie. Everything in me wants to back the Lakers here. I am so sick and tired of this Suns team. I know the Suns have a winning record, man. And I know they should be the play here, but God, I have such a hatred for them right now. You look at the Suns, they've lost 3 of their last 4 games, man, against they are kind of due for a win, if you want to even say that. But you are getting Durant and Beal, right? Um, which is huge. The only reason that they're favored here, right? That is the only reason. Um, the Suns were, you know, what were they? 8-1, right? I mean, I don't know what happened, but look, man, all I'm saying, the Lakers, they, in my opinion, are the better team. Are they the better team now with Beal and Durant? I don't know. But are they going to come out and play good ball? Are they going to click right away? I mean, there's just so many questions, bro. Um, I have no idea, bro. It's got to be. How do you feel, Callie? I really do think that we have to back the Suns, but I don't know if Beal and Durant are going to make that big of a difference in this game.
Yeah, I feel the same way. It tells me that I want to back them, but I just can't get there, at least yet. It's been disappointing. It's just been such a massive inconsistency game in and game out. You just don't know who you're getting right now. And you're in the pros to be someone who is consistent. That's why you're there. And I feel like it's just been, who's going to be on and how bad are you going to be off that night. It's been ugly this year. I've been pleasantly enjoying the disappointment as someone who used to really enjoy Durant and feels very differently about it now. But at the same time, it's been ugly basketball, and it's a team that I really just cannot put myself on backing right now. Still,
Yeah, I kind of agree, man. I don't know where to go in this one. I think it's going to be a really good game. And if we didn't have them other college basketball games on tonight, guys, for real, I would probably tune into this game. I think it's going to be a good game. I just don't know where to go here. I mean, it is super super tough for me. When it comes to getting Durant back, everything in me wants to target Durant. Everything, man. But I just can't do it. So I'm gonna fall off of this game when it comes to player props, when it comes to just betting the game in general. I'm staying away, but I know this is going to be a highly anticipated game, and a lot of people are going to be looking for plays in this game. And I'm sorry, I just really can't give you guys a solid answer on this one. If I were to take anything in this game, I would say, I mean, the biggest trend I got for y'all is Durant's, and I want to target Durant some way, is Durant's assist. They have him at over 2.5 at a minus 125. He has hit this number in 19 straight games. He has hit 3 assists with his team as a favorite against the Lakers in 19 straight games. So over the 2.5 at a minus 125. But again, I'm not even in love with that. All right. Oh shit, Line Slayer's in the building. What up? Just hit me up, Lion Slayer. I ain't going nowhere. I'm here every day. But good to hear from you, man. I'll hit you up after the show, bro. Um, all right. Callie, you got a best bet? Let's get up out of here.
Best bet of the day:
Yeah,
UNC
best
Green,
bet.
UNC Greensboro -3.5 over
Ooh,
San Jose
say it.
State. I like the Spartans tonight to handle the other Spartans tonight. Yeah, I do think that the Greensboro handles business. Line has gone up a little bit. I think opened at 3 or 3.5. I see some fours. I still see 3.5. So I will take Greensboro tonight with my best bet.
All right, love it. Got you down, man. UNC Greensboro. Let's go. I'm gonna tell you on that. Um, what am I gonna give y'all today? Man, we're going Houston money line. I already told y'all it's my biggest bet of the day. I am warning y'all. All right. Just like I warn you with my team totals, I am always upfront with y'all, man, because I actually care about your money. I'm here to make y'all money, not lose it. Guys, I am cold right now. Okay. I am super cold right now. So be careful. I'm just letting you know this is my biggest play of the week, but I am not hitting right now. So I'm just putting that out there for y'all. I'm not trying to scare y'all off the play, but maybe don't bet it as big as I did. Okay. Is what I'm trying to say. Maybe don't bet Houston as big as I did just in case. But like I said, no matter how cold I am or whatever, I play to win. Like I bet to win. And just because I had a couple bad days, don't mean I'm going to shy away from this bet for me personally. But I'm not trying to tie your guys' money up with that as well, especially if I stay cold. So I'm just putting that out there, man. Just be careful with that one. All right, Callie, can you tell the people where to find you and anything you got going on?
Yeah, can find me on all the socials: Twitter at California Wager, Instagram California dash Wager, TikTok, all those social outlets. By all means, DM is always open. Dub Club is another option I have. Anybody can always reach out to me, and I can get you the link. And yeah, we're going for 4 sweeps in our last 5 days. Swept the board yesterday, swept the
God
board
damn.
Sunday, swept the board Friday. And yeah, it's been a nice run. Had the Ravens yesterday for 2%. Swept college with Memphis, and then had a 5-0 NFL Sunday. So it's been a good run. And yeah, college basketball has been great. 7 straight college winners right now as well. So it's been a really nice run for VIP. I'm doing actually a 2024 special. It's $25 through the end of the year. I'm doing this week for Black Friday. And I am picking someone who joins for a free entry into 2025 All Access. So anybody who joins gets auto entry, and I will do a random drawing on New Year's, and one person will grab 2025 All Access for free.
Dude, that's fucking awesome, man. Make sure you guys tap in with that, man. Callie is a great capper, man. He has a great service, man. Don't sleep on him. For real, guys, don't sleep on them. All right, definitely appreciate that, Cal. I appreciate your time too, bro. Glad I'm happy to have you back on here.
For
Um,
sure.
I want to get you on here more consistently, man.
Yeah, we'll be
Because
on once I'm settled. I'll be back over on the coast next week for the next few months. So timing will be a little easier with everybody's holiday week. So always busy with
yeah,
the little ones and that kind of time of the year. But yeah, I'll try to be in a couple times a week now and at least once a weekend for football.
yeah, I know it's tough, man. Like I'm blessed not to have any kids, bro. So I can't imagine trying to do all this and juggling kids at the same time. So, I mean, I completely understand, man. Uh, all right. So you guys know where to find me, man. You can go to outletsv.com, check out what we have going on there. I just did uh, I would say bit of an early, uh, a bit of an early playoff look on the NFL. I just threw out a couple teams in the article and wrote a bunch of stuff down about the playoffs for content. I wanted it was basically a test article for Google. That's what it was. It was a test article for Google because I write all prediction articles, right? And yes, this article that I wrote yesterday for the NFL playoffs is a prediction article in a way because 90% of my readers are betting. So if not 100%, right? So I am trying to not break away from that. I'm always going to have prediction articles on the website. Always. It's what we are building around. It's what we're built around. But yesterday I tried to veer off of the track a little bit with the article yesterday. And I just want to see by next week how it ranks on Google. So it was a test. I'm going to put out a few more like that moving forward that might not be a straight up game prediction, meaning a single game with a game prediction. They might be just like updates on sports, maybe controversial articles to get people talking. But I am trying to put out different kind of content. I also got the new dog of the day. Every day I will be sending out a video of an underdog on the betting slate. You can find it on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. Um, so it will be a new video I put out every day. It will always be released sometime after Plug Talk. And like I said, my VIP continues to stay $10 a month for right now. So if you guys want to get involved, man, it's only $10 to join VIP. Hit me up, get started, and we'll start making some money, man. But with all that being said, again, Callie, appreciate you being here, man. Everyone that tuned in today, appreciate you guys as always.